Let's go.
Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And this is our thoughts on Marissa and Ramses following the reunion.
Our final thoughts on them, meaning that after we talk on them, unless something significant come out, we are not talking about her and Ramses no more. Mm-hmm. What is your overall thoughts on the whole reunion when it came to Ramses and Marissa, Blair?
I felt like it was kind of more of the same when it came to their breakup conversation.
Yeah.
He said it was the energies just not clicking, and she feels like she didn't have a choice in the matter. I know she said she wasn't begging for him to stay with her, but it was a little beggation going on to me. But maybe she just wanted to make sure that he was really sure, and he confirmed multiple times that he for sure did not want to be with her. So I think that Marissa was just having a hard time with the fact that she didn't get to have a say in the situation. But like I said in our reunion video, sometimes you get dumped and you don't get a say.
Yeah. So. I felt like she had more energy for Nick and more of being a backbone for Hannah than she had one for herself. You get what I'm saying? While she's talking to Ramses and things of that nature, she's tearing up. She whispering, "I think I hate him," and it's like this is a year later. You get what I'm saying? And it made me actually go and read the interview she did for I think it's Glamour.
Okay.
Right. And Blair haven't read the interview, but there are two questions out of that whole interview that I want to get her genuine reaction on. She's going to read the two questions and Marissa's response, and I want to talk about those reactions and her answers and compare it to the person we saw at the reunion. You ready, Blair?
Yes.
Walk us through this thing called reading.
Okay, so the interviewer says that it felt like such a gut-wrenching split watching you sobbing with such a stark contrast to the other breakups we'd witnessed this season.
Yeah.
And she says that I think with the other couples, the difference was none of us saw this breakup coming.
Yeah.
It wasn't like me and him were having big fights, the military conversations, and the sex and all that. Those were discussions you just need to keep having as a couple. And I didn't think they were game changers at the time. I asked him so many times, "Are you sure?" And it wasn't because I wasn't sure. It was because everything was just going so good. He would always say 100% love of my life, soulmate, gonna marry you. I take people at face value, and Ramses never led me to believe I shouldn't believe what is coming out of his mouth. And so when he says we should break up and I don't want to date you, an interviewer says, wait, what? She said, I offered to not get married. We can stay engaged or we can do everything on our own timeline. We don't have to move in immediately. That was never the plan anyway. We don't have to be engaged to date. It was a hard no. And that is what really tore me up. I'm a very smart person. I've spent a lot of years in therapy and really know what I want. And it really turned me upside down. Like it made me really question everything I've ever believed in.
Your first reaction to what you just read, Blair?
First reaction, she was just caught off guard, and I agree. I think Ramsey should have shared some of his doubts. They were having disagreements, but he wasn't saying that those were causing doubts in the fact of him wanting to be with her.
Yeah.
So, and even in the reunion, he said that, when Marissa's mom brought up the fact that he should have been a man about expressing his concerns to her, but he didn't know if those concerns were really deal breakers at the time. But that doesn't really matter. You guys are in a partnership. You're trying to work this thing out. But that goes to make me believe he just didn't like her because he didn't want to try to work things out with her. He did not want to be with her.
Yeah.
So
it's almost as if he should have expressed his doubts. Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's almost as if he had any doubts, this would be the time, because she's saying that all this time he just saying you're the love of my life, you're my soulmate, all these things, but he knew in the back of his mind.
He was saying that to her. He was saying that to her.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I said he said, right, was saying all that to her, and he did not express his doubts, meaning that he did not have any doubts that he did not want to be with her.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like it kind of goes back, if you look at our reunion and kind of look at our Alex videos, is that Tim is getting disrespect because he expressed his doubts with Alex, I'm having doubts about this relationship. Whole time, Marissa's story is, I'm being love bombed, basically.
Yeah.
Right? But you can see the contrast of, someone who wants nothing to do with her, which is Ramses, compared to someone being like, hey, this is where I am 10 days out. And that's what I wanted to draw a comparison and draw out these quotes, because Ramses did not wake up one day just randomly and say, I don't want to be with Marissa. He knew from day one, probably from first time he saw her, that he did not want to be with her and things of that nature. But in the midst of that, he kept love bombing her, lying to her, just knowing that, hey, when it gets to that point where it's time to get serious and it's time for the wedding, I'm going to dump you. I'm going to dump you. Read the second question, Blair, for us.
Have you seen each other since the breakup? Marissa says, we saw each other a few times after. I took the breakup really hard, as you can imagine, from the scene of me crying and stuff. It took me probably 6 months to get back on track and to really start to move on. So I saw him a few times when I was in DC, and there was one time where we talked one day for like 8.5, 9 hours on the phone, and I thought we were going to get back together after that. So like February or March, I did ask him if he wanted to get back together. I'm not really ashamed to say that, because I'm someone who's like, if you feel it, you feel it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And he's like, nah. So after that, we just stopped communication.
Your first reaction to that, Blair?
Yeah, it just kind of goes back to the fact that she could not respect the fact that he didn't want to be with her and he didn't want her as a partner. I can respect the fact that they had a long conversation. It seemed to be a good conversation, and she wanted to express to him that, you know, I still care for you and would like to continue dating you if you would be into it. Life is short. Like, yeah, tell people you love and care about them. And if the response is no, okay. You know, like that's where he's at with it. He doesn't want to be with you. And I think she's coming to accept that, but I do feel for her in the fact that, especially if someone has been telling you this whole time that you're great, I want to marry you, we're so wonderful, and then all of a sudden it's a breakup and you're like, okay, we had some disagreements, but I didn't think that they were to the point where you didn't want to be with me ever, then yeah, I can see her being shocked and being heartbroken by that. I think, you know, a lot of us who have dated, been in relationships, have been heartbroken at one moment or another. So I totally can empathize with that, but it's just kind of at the point where, Marissa, you got to accept the reality that even though he said all these things, he kind of was hiding how he really felt. And I know his explanation is, I just didn't know if it was going to be whatever at the point. Yeah. Like that was my issue with Ramses the whole season, is that I don't think he's being honest about his true feelings. Like, he's trying to sound good or say the right things, but I don't think that he's being fully transparent about where he stands. But once he was transparent, it was a breakup, and it's kind of like, let's cry, let's, you know, get all our emotions out, and let's try to move on, pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
So.
In no way am I defending Ramses, right? So let me just say that as as something to put to the side. No way am I defending Ramses, but this kind of lets me know that, Marissa, your self-esteem, insecurities, all the above is everywhere. You get what I'm saying? This man, right? This man on the show said no to you, right? Blindsided you based on your quotes with no. Disrespected you to that point, to where he did not share any doubts. Right? He did not share anything that he should be worried about. Instead, he led you to believe that y'all was on the same page, right? When it's time for the parents is coming up, well, his parents wasn't coming because apparently they still cool with his ex-wife. And then he's like, you know, yeah, I didn't even know how bad my ex-wife was handling it. You knew. You just didn't care, right? Now your mama coming up for the wedding and things of that nature, and he hits you with it's your energy, right? It always, and energy is just another word for you. It's you. You get what I'm saying? Now you're crying. Now you're on the floor rolling. Now you're scratching the ground, crying and things of that nature. And you are over here trying to find some type of compromise in the rejection. We don't have to be married. We don't have to get married. We could just stay engaged. No. Okay, we don't have to be engaged. We could be boyfriend, girlfriend, and do it on our own time. No. Right? Matter of fact, you don't even got to... I live in Baltimore, you live in DC, we don't even gotta live together. No. Not only after all those no's, you go and still continue to talk to this guy? This is not no guy you've been with for a year. This ain't no guy you've been with for 6 months. This ain't no guy you've been with for 3 months, right? But the fact that you were so hurt by this guy that you barely knew, in my opinion, because first of all, as much as y'all was talking, y'all wasn't talking about nothing. We watched it, we recapped it, we reviewed it, check out the playlist. You get what I'm saying? You went back and not only started a whole friendship, started, based on your words, a situationship, to where y'all didn't agree on birth control. So y'all don't come to no agreement, but you still, what's the word, exchanging energies, if that's what you want to call it. You get what I'm saying? If we go keep it rated E. You get what I'm saying? Exchanging energies to the point where y'all talking for 8-9 hours, And to the point where you're so lost in the sauce that you ask him, hey, you know what? Let's get back together in February. And he said no again. How many times he got to tell you no? And for you to keep opening yourself to this, and I think the thing that I'm confused about, and maybe our friends can help us, and Blair, maybe you can help me right here. Like, Marissa, where was this? I seen all that backbone you had for Nick, right? A whole situation that did not affect you in any bit, right? A whole situation that you probably don't even know the whole inside and outs of. But something that someone was literally attacking you directly. He attacked your career. He attacked your self-esteem. He attacked your intellect. All these things. And you still wanted to be with him? Like, I'm lost there, Blair. Help me.
I think that she just really wants to be with him.
Say it again?
I think she just still wants to be with him. And I don't feel so much that Ramses was attacking her necessarily.
I think so.
I feel like, I mean, they had different views on a lot of core values. And I think that she should have taken that as a big deal. But for some reason she didn't. She just didn't feel like that mattered, even though they talked about kids and how she would want her kids to know about her military history and take them to like the naval side, or, you know, all these different things. Like, it's a big part of her life.
Yeah.
But she was also making herself small so that way he would accept her.
Facts, Blair.
And she was willing to do that. And even when she was saying, I know my energy can be a lot, like I need to just like sit down and watch TV and just chill out sometimes. And Marissa, you are who you are. And you know, like Nick said, like your energy is beautiful and somebody will appreciate and love it, but Ramses is not the one.
No.
And I think that's the only thing that when we saw her getting all hyped for Hannah, I guess she felt that Hannah was wronged in some way. And Hannah be lying too. Hannah be putting 20 on 10 on stories. So, and Marissa, I think that she's just easily manipulated. Sorry. Like, I think it's just that Hannah was able to get in her ear and she just went gung-ho on the fact that, oh, well, Nick you did say Hannah was ugly, whatever the case might be. It don't matter. With all the things that Hannah said about him, it really don't matter. But, you know, you wanted your friend to have her one lick or whatever, so, you know, you helped your friend out. But that's what I think it is. I think that Marissa, she like she said, she knows who she is, she knows what she wants, but I don't think she's realizing what she's giving up in the process. Because I want this person, that means I'm willing to be a smaller version of myself, and you shouldn't have to be that.
And I'm guessing my whole point is I'm thinking I am reacting to my expectation of what I was expecting from Marissa, and I'm disappointed.
Okay.
Because I expected her to see this back and for her to be on some, you know what? I did serve this country. You know what? I am in school. You know what? I accomplished some things, and my accomplishment shouldn't be sneezed at. Something in the interview, which I didn't give you, Blair, but I'll give you. I straight will give you the gist of it. The lady asked her in the interview, or like I think it's a lady. I actually don't know who is the interviewer, but the interviewer asked Marissa basically like, do you think, to paraphrase, do you think he was trying to belittle you or something like that, or basically like she asked him a question that had something to do with feminists, and Marissa said, looking back on it,
gaslight.
It's not gaslight, right? But it was. I'm talking about the article.
Oh, okay.
It was something that she said watching back, like, I think a lot of his insecurities was coming out in the sense of he did not go to school, he did not go to college, so he will sneeze at her accomplishments and basically be like, even though I did not go to college, even though I don't have a degree, I'm more progressive than you. And he used to lean on that progression, basically like, I view the world better than you. And the fact that it's easy to look down on someone when you haven't accomplished. I don't even know if Ramses can make it through basic training, right? And I could kind of see it from that perspective, because I'm like, it's one thing to say you don't like the military, but it just seems like Ramses was like really gun-ho on this one thing, knowing, and this is the point I'm talking about, knowing all these conversations he's having with her, knowing that he did not want to be with her. I felt like he knew he didn't want to be with her based on like everything we saw. I'm like, okay, I don't think he just woke up and said, it's your energy. I think he was like, I don't want to be with her, but I'm going to get the benefits of being with her, things of that nature. And I was hoping that Marissa would actually get back with him and to be proud of the person that she is, proud to be a veteran, proud for like the things that she's doing, and proud how she views the world. Yes, everybody who joined the military ain't happy to join the military, so that's a fact in the first place. But for Ramses to basically like kind of down talk her, I was hoping that she would have had that energy that she had for Nick for Ramses. I don't know.
I get what you're saying. Like maybe if she wanted to talk about like some of those disagreements they had,
yeah,
and just saying that, you know, she actually stands firm in what she believes, and if he believes differently, that's fine. But you know, she served in the military, and you should be saying thank you to me.
like thank you.
Exactly. Not going down this diatribe with me. So yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, it just comes off like Ramses just seemed like the type of person, in my opinion, with no matter what you do, he views the world in a progressive way, and it's not as progressive as he is. You get what I'm saying? And I told y'all about those guys that speak about being progressive, and I don't follow the whole I'm not masculine, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm not for gender roles.
But my thing is, there is a way to be progressive, but my thing is, I think he was fake progressive. He says he's progressive, but he, you know, if you're really progressive and you really, you know, respect the fact that women have their own agency over their bodies, their careers, and all this type of stuff, then, you know, then for you to say like, oh, if you decide to get back in the military, then I'm not going to want to be in a relationship with you, then that's not quite progressive. You're putting your woman in a box as far as what she can be in order to be with you.
Facts.
And the thing is, that's fine, but don't cosplay as somebody
no, that's exactly
who
what he's
says
doing.
A woman can do and be whatever she wants to do, except a soldier.
Some would say it's progressive that women is even in the military.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But it's just because he views the world differently, because
but it's fake.
But it's all fake. And I think he is insecure in the whole type of thing of he don't have a degree, he didn't finish school. And I'm not saying you need to finish or have a degree and things of that nature. But I'm just saying, looking back on it, like, hey, what's your accomplishments besides you sneezing at someone else's? Even though I may not, quote unquote, agree with it. And just be progressive. Don't say you are progressive. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Like, I don't fall for that progressive talk, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just came off as, hey, I'm gonna use you, and I'm gonna basically talk down on everything. Cause none of their conversations you could comprehend what they was talking about.
They talked in circles.
You only got certain like keywords like birth control, but everything else was just
a blur.
Military, blur. Energy, blur.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But one thing that wasn't a blur is I don't even want to date you. So the one thing that he was very clear on, you went back to him? Where's your self-esteem, Marissa? Where's your backbone to the stranger? You just met this guy. And based on other things in that article, she said she had to go to therapy. She went down a bad rabbit hole of like drinking and partying and things like that based on the effects of this breakup. And I'm just like, wow, your whole being was put on this guy's acceptance.
Yeah. And that's sad.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's wild. They like in the military, they build you up, at least in the Navy rather. Or was she Air Force? I keep on getting confused.
I think she was the Navy. Yeah, she was the Navy because she was talking about working on boats.
Okay, so Tim and her is Navy.
Yeah,
they build all of your self-esteem and things like that. You should be proud to serve your country and things like that.
But the thing is, I can understand where Marissa's coming from because she got out of the Navy and she's trying to figure out who she is outside of structured environment. And also with the fact that she grew up Mormon, like everything has been structured.
Now that's true.
And telling her what to be and how to be. So
I'll pull back on that. You're right.
So I'm like,
you're right.
For the first time in her life, she's allowed to explore and figure out what she really thinks and what she wants to do with her life. So I think that she's just in the midst of trying to figure things out. And it's not so much that I think she has low self-esteem per se, but I don't think she knows what she stands for, you know?
That's actually a good take. I didn't think about the whole Mormon thing.
Yeah.
That's why she's like, you know what? I don't want a man marry me.
And she was like, put God in the back seat.
Wait a minute.
Like, yeah, like she's trying to figure it out. So.
And this was a bad experiment for you to join with you trying to figure out things.
Yeah.
Not Married at First Sight, even though we do review that. Love is Blind is a terrible experiment for you to not know who you are, not know where you stand, to try to pander to the person you pick or to even be picked.
Yeah.
And you not know where you stand. in your faith, not knowing where you stand, and just in life.
Yeah.
And that's why you can go back to this guy. And this one thing this guy is sure about is he don't even want to be boyfriend girlfriend with you.
Right.
You even took everything that he had a problem with off the table and said we can literally just start over, and he still said no.
Yeah. You let him say no to you like
7 times.
Yeah.
Anything else on Marissa and Ramses?
No, I mean, overall, I don't feel like either one of them are really that diabolical. We have some diabolical characters on this show.
Oh, yeah.
But to me, it's neither one of them. I think Marissa's still just trying to figure it out. And Ramses, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Ramses just needs to get with somebody who aligns with what he feels like. And he doesn't need to play as though he feels differently than he does. Like, yeah.
But I think Ramses be pandering a lot. I don't think he know who he is either.
Maybe.
You get what I'm saying? But in my opinion, based on Marissa, I just feel like, hey, the fact that you best friends with Hannah, she's still searching.
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? You still on your quest.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because I would say based on this cast of women, this is probably a terrible cast altogether in my opinion. But I can probably give a reason why each woman on the show played a villain. Starting from Ashley, going all the way to Taylor.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe I give Taylor a pass, but I join her in.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Anything else?
That's it.
Listen, y'all be good. Subscribe, like, share, comment. We'll be back with Hannah. We are going to give our final thoughts on Hannah, and I already know the title of that video. It's something that you said that I'm going to plagiarize and name it the title.
Okay, I'm nervous.
And
What'd I say?
Dusty is a state of being.
Okay.
Lost all that weight and still dusty. Craziness. Y'all be good.
Bye.